Really good. Another encouraging outing for him. And what I really liked is, he was struggling to find his command with his fastball early, and found it. I thought he settled into a nice groove after a little bit early, kind of spraying it all over a little bit with the fastball, but I thought got into a good rhythm, and all in all gave us a really strong outing.
I think it's meaningful for him to go that deep into the game. It's the first time he made it into the seventh inning.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he expects to go out there and do well, and he's built up now, and so I'm sure he's glad that he goes into the seventh, but I don't think he puts all that much thought in. I think he goes out there to pitch and execute, and I thought he gave us a really good effort.
What are you thinking when he reaches out and that ball hits him square in his pitching hand?
Always a little nervous when you see that with one of your pitchers, and to see him shaking it initially, so you just kind of hope. Plus, it's early in the game, so you're thinking all the ramifications there if it's not good. But knew pretty much when we got out there that he was okay, and a couple pitches, and he was off.
It's easy to say don't go after that ball. Is that just a matter of instincts taking over there and wanting to make the play?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those that, it is something I think you can sort of train yourself to do, and guys seem to, over time, some guys are better than others at it. Some guys manage to do it, but it's certainly one of those things that's tough when you can reach out and do something.
Did you think anything about that Fiers pitch was intentional, or do you think Stanton just a little hypersensitive due to their history?
Yeah, I think it's a case of obviously, Giancarlo getting a serious injury and then getting hit. So I think just a little frustration. I didn't think any intent at all.
Did you notice any difference in his demeanor when he came back in the dugout?
Giancarlo?
Yeah, I mean,
no.
Leading up to the next at bat.
No. I think getting hit hurts. It's not fun, and especially when you have, a thought of a time where it, really got you, and it's a similar. So it brings up some memories and stuff, I'm sure. But no, I thought he, compartmentalized it, moved on, and focused, and obviously had a really good at bat his next time up.
It's a 456-foot home run, about the best revenge you can get.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's. It was a two-strike curveball, and that's a good comeback.
That ball to left, Frazier had a long run, but is that his ball there? He has to call off into her.
I think just when you look at it, it's a little tougher play based on where it is than I think the initial high ball down that line, because Glaber's so shaded over with kind of semi-shift. He's shading up the middle, so it's a long way for him to go. Frazier's kind of shaded in the gap too, so it's a little bit in no man's land. That said, it's one of those, if we communicate really well and we break, I think that's a play we can and should make. Hard to say. Priority-wise, it goes left field or shortstop, third base. Real tough play for third base. If Glaber can get there, if Frazier can get there, they probably in the end have the best chance at it.
How much do you think that those guys, at least at this level, haven't been on the field, with each other? And
I don't think so. I think it's more of a, probably a little bit positioning-wise. It's, if everyone's probably straight up, it's a simple, guys are camped and it's easy to communicate. But I think so many guys are on the run where it's in no man's land a little bit, that everyone probably kind of thinks they have it, and so it's one. I don't think it's necessarily a case of them, not being together out there as much.
Judge is pretty unflappable, but 8 strikeouts in a day is a pretty tough number to look at. I mean, do you worry at all about that at all, or is he did this something else taken?
No, I don't at all. He is absolutely unflappable. So yeah, that's just the nature of his at bats. He gets so deep in counts and stuff that he's going to have that occasional day where it's like that, but he can just as easily put a big swing on one, because he's so no, I don't think he's really fazed by it, frankly. Who's that? Judge. It wouldn't have anything to do with this. we'll see. I'm considering it just because I was considering him at some point on this trip, but with the off day, essentially the rain out yesterday, I treated that a little bit like an off day, but obviously a long day today. We'll just kind of see, and I'll kind of work through that with my coaches and stuff when I'm done with you guys.
Is there a pattern you see from Judge when he's scuffling? Striking out a lot?
No, because he punches when he's going really good, and I mean I still see the at bat quality there. He's just, I mean, you're going to live with some of the swing and miss in there, and because he's fearless in going deep in the count, he's fearless in taking close pitches. You know, the result of that's going to be some strikeouts, but no, I don't worry about him in the least.
Do you know what Glaber was talking to the home plate umpire about?
I don't. I actually meant to ask him that. It might have been something to do with some pine tar or something. I think he wanted to, but I'm actually not sure.
Why came we down for Warren?
Just feel like, you know, obviously Adam's going to come back, and with Canely, I just didn't feel like I was getting to use him in the role that he probably should be in right now, and hadn't pitched in a while. And the bottom line is Tommy, when he's right, is obviously very good, and we need to get him pitching and get him into, I think, a proper rhythm, throwing the ball well, and when that happens, hopefully we can get him back here and start impacting our club. But you know, I think some guys in some leverage spots at the moment had kind of gone past him a little bit, so there weren't those opportunities to where he was getting his regular work coming back from the disabled list. I just think it's important that he goes down there and kind of gets himself right, gets him more regular work, and then hopefully back to impact us.
Is he 100% healthy?
We believe he is, and we've, it's one of the things we check in with him all the time, and he says he is. We've checked him over and over. We believe he is, and hopefully going down there and getting those regular, every other day, built him up. We don't really feel like we have him built up to where we could go 2 innings with him. The way our roster's configured, part of it, unfortunately, for him is he has options, and that plays into it a little bit. So it was a difficult thing to have to do today because of what he's meant to our team and obviously the kind of impact he had, especially with this club last year. But we feel like long-term for the Yankees and for Tommy, we hope this is something that gets him right.
What was his reaction?
Pro. Larry and I talked to him for a little while, and he was a pro, absolute pro. Hopefully he takes this time to the regular work gets him rolling again.
Can you give the Tigers pitchers some credit for the way they were pitching, Judge, or do you feel like he just was missing some pitches he may not normally? Or?
No, I think they absolutely. I think Fires was tough on him. I think the relievers they brought in made quality pitches against him. Absolutely. That said, when you watch pitchers empty their tank and make some of their best pitches against Judgy routinely because they know they have to execute if they're going to have success. So absolutely, I thought from Fires on down they executed real well tonight.
It's had some really good numbers going in against Fires. Was there a reason why you didn't use him in the second game?
I just wanted to have him down, and we just decided that it was take your pick in the morning game, afternoon game with Gardy. Small, pretty small sample size. He hit the 2 homers here last time. We look at it more skill set matchup, and not that Hicksy was a bad matchup by any means, but more just we were going to pick a spot and not have him play both today.
Will Frazier definitely be the move?
Yes.